Hi, this is Dave Templeman, that job guy. I want to talk to you a little bit about sameness today. I receive so many resumes and talk to so many people, and here's the thing. A lot of people just seem the same. I want to tell you about a friend of mine named Sean Storms. He's the one that inspired this post. His company, The Third Door, helps companies deal with sameness and help them stand out from other companies so that they can increase their revenue. And he's just a smart guy, and I really enjoy talking to him. But sameness is just a word that he came back to, and he talks about it over and over again, and I just keep thinking to myself, that's just the way it is with job seekers. I got a resume today from a gentleman, and it just made me say this. I looked at it, and I went, boring. It was boring. It was just boring. I read it. The very first bullet under summary said PMP certified. The next one said executive leadership. The next one said this, that, and the other thing. It just didn't excite me. It looked like every other resume that I see come in. It was the same. When you go in for an interview, are you just answering questions, or do you go in engaged? Because I'll tell you what, I interview a lot of people, and everybody just kind of blends together eventually, and I hate to say that if I've interviewed you, but it is true. You see so many faces, and you ask the same questions over and over again, and you get the same answers. What are you looking for in a company? Well, I want a company that has a great environment. I want a great boss. I don't want to be micromanaged. Those are very common answers that I get. It's the same. When you're out networking, if you have a 30-second commercial put together, a lot of times it's just a recitation of what you've done and maybe what you're looking for. And it sounds the same. I hear a lot of 30-second commercials. It sounds the same. So what do you do to get rid of sameness? Well, the first thing that you got to do is you got to figure out what everybody else is doing and do something different. So it might not be a bad idea to listen to people's 30-second commercials. Go out and talk to some HR people or talk to me about what I hear when I ask questions in an interview. And find ways to, maybe you want to say those things, but say them in different ways. I mean, you have to figure out a way to make yourself stand out from the crowd and avoid the sameness. With regards to your resume, how do you make it not sound the same? Well, if you look over to your right under Contact Me, you're going to see my chronological resume and my functional resume. If you read my chronological resume, it's got a lot of sameness to it, and I really haven't done a lot of updating to that document in several years, so if I was looking for a job, that would be completely retooled. But it's a good example of what a resume looks like that pretty much looks like everybody else's. If you look at my functional resume, I actually wrote that a couple weeks ago. It's sort of a work in process, but it gives you an idea of what can be done that completely takes you away from that sameness and makes you stand out. It might not be the right resume for every situation, but it will be a good resume for some situations. One of the ways you can really avoid sameness is through an effective brand. Now, I've got that job guy. I've got this website. Now, why don't you do a website? Why don't you do a blog? Why don't you do something that's interesting, that drives people to you and makes them want to find out more about you? That's how you avoid the sameness. Instead of just being part of the pack and sending your resume in, do video resumes, do video blogs, do a regular blog, get involved with organizations that can help you get to where you want to go. Anything that you can do to set yourself apart from the pack and not be the same is going to help you be successful in a job search. Thanks for watching today. My name is Dave Templeman, and I'm That Job Guy. You can find us on the web at www.thatjobguy.com.